Welcome to the channel. Behind me is my new purchase project car. It is a 2004 Porsche Cayenne S 955, which is the model number, and it's the S, which means it has the V8 motor. Now, this is an interesting car. I've always wanted to have some type of an off-road vehicle like a Jeep, but I was reading up and looking at all these lifted Cayennes, and I looked at all the Porsches, like the old rally Porsches. I'm like, you know what? Jeeps are for suckers. Porsche is the way to go, and these are actually, you know, pretty capable off-road vehicles. So I was looking online, and I actually found this specific Porsche on Facebook Marketplace. The guy had actually done some upgrades to it already. There's some definite downsides because the car is almost 20 years old, and it is German, you know, German engineering there, so it definitely has check engine lights and whatnot. But this is a project car, and there's quite a few things that I want to do to it. And the cool thing is I'm not in it that much money, so I traded a couple of guns. If you know from my other channel, DEFCON Creative, I'm an FFL, so I work in the gun industry. Everything we're going to be doing here is all the other projects because, well, social media hates the gun industry, and I don't want to mix that with anything else because YouTube will instantly demonetize everything and shadow ban stuff. So the 955 project, airplanes, I've got a couple project airplanes. There's gonna be a lot of different stuff on this channel, but the 955, I traded 2 guns, some ammo, and a little bit of cash to get into it. So it's not a lot of money outlay, but this is like the perfect starting project. So let's take a look at what I've got and where the car is at right now and where, you know, the problem areas are. But let's do a little walk around. So as you can see, this 04 Cayenne already has some work, which is what you know, drew me to it. The guy that owned it before actually put the 2.5-inch Euro-wise lift on it. This is not the air suspension. This is just straight coilovers, so it's just a lifting block. He also put these 32-inch tires in the wheels. I don't know what the brand is, but it already started to get that Overlander look. And he removed the lower part of the bumper here to get more clearance. This is definitely something I would have done, so you know, it's something that he's already taken the time to do. The paint, it's not my favorite paint color, but the paint is in decent condition for being its age. So if you look at the hood here, it's got a little bit of hazing on the hood. On top of the mirrors, you're losing a little bit, so you got a little bit of flaking and peeling there. And then coming around to the back, there's a couple other issues. So missing the trim piece on the back here, and you can see when you get up to the roof, it's definitely starting to lose some of its clear coat up there. Now getting around to the back here, you can see that there are no mufflers or tips coming out the back because he did a muffler delete, and I'll rev up the car a little bit, but it just sounds amazing. But overall, the body's in pretty good shape. There's a few dents and dings on the outside. You can see it's got some mud on it because I did go up this trail. It's really muddy. I just wanted to see what would happen, and I went up and then back down because I didn't want to ruin all these guys' hard work that are grading the ground here. So I realized it was too muddy to do that, back down, but got a little bit of mud going on the wheels here. Overall, the car's got a really cool stance. I think the 2.5-inch lift is probably a good starting point, but really I'd like to go 3 to 5 inches and get bigger tires and wheels with a more wide offset on them. He's already taken out the fender wells in here, so you know, that's going to be nice to keep clean when it goes through the mud, but that's just part of having an overland off-road vehicle. But overall, exterior, not bad condition, just a few pieces missing like you'd expect. Moving on to the interiors where things get a little wonky. So the first thing that I've got going here is the driver door. So is that locked? Yeah, that's locked. Oh, one thing, if you have a Porsche, always keep the key with you because they have a weird tendency to just lock. I can't figure out in the menu how to get it to stop locking automatically. This is the only key I have, so I have to keep it in my pocket so I don't get locked out. So hit the key, unlock. Now I go to pull the handle, nothing. Pull it again, nothing. But here's the trick. Hit it a little bit and it opens up no problem. So what I found is that this latch here, this is supposed to be spring loaded and come down, and first off, it's not. It actually stays halfway up, so I'll have a lot of times I'll go to slam the door, and this right here, you can see the plastic's actually losing some of its plasticness because it's been hitting the post. But I have to put this down manually sometimes. Also, I think the cable that's inside the door is too tight, so it doesn't actually let the latch reset each time. It's like a gun. It has to reset each time before you can do it after it's been locked. But I've gone in here and tried to loosen it, and once I loosen it, then I can't get the latch to work at all. So there's definitely something funny going on with the latch here. That'll probably have to be replaced. Overall, the interior is in not bad condition, but it's not great. The leather is definitely worn out. And then you get over here to the driver's seat, and it's got definitely some wear there. The center console, I've actually removed all the trim because I'm going to replace this AC control unit because I believe it's not working and it's missing some pieces, and it's pretty inexpensive to find a replacement. Also, the CD player works. The Bose system works great. The audio is awesome, but this is just CD. There's no input. So when I bought the car, the guy that sold it to me actually had a cheap Android Chinese deal that's going to go in there. I'm just waiting for the Bose connector, and I can change the radio out and see how that sounds. But the leather up front is not in bad shape. There's some funny stuff in the dash. We'll talk about that on a drive. Now, getting in here, it has the sunroof, moonroof, and that actually works. The other thing though is the moonroof and the sunroof on these Porsches, they have a little drain hole that gets plugged, and when it gets plugged, water comes in. So at some point in the past, I don't know if you can see it, there is some serious water damage up there from water coming in. So the whole headliner needs to be redone and recovered, and it is sagging down there in the back. I've got some push pins up there holding it up, but otherwise I wouldn't be able to see. Cool things though, all the windows work, the locks work mostly, the rest of the handles don't have any problems. The back leather is in decent enough condition. It could just probably use some work, maybe get recovered, but probably just put some covers on it. Now, these pockets are starting to rip like they normally do. Someone had to use some screws to hold on the back of the seat, but otherwise, you know, overall, interior is not in terrible condition. Definitely got some stains, different things not working. Like, let's see, yeah, the cup holder, that's definitely stuck. It's probably got, there's just like goop I've found in here. It's probably just sodas and years of, you know, sodas dripping down there. And like the covers here for the ashtray. Airplane, who's flying? Ooh, hit the clouds, rad. So yeah, ashtrays need a little bit of work. Those are all sticky. The headliner, coming around to the back, this trim piece here, this is missing, but I found it on eBay. That's going to come in. The latch actually works for this rear hatch, and all of the shocks work just fine, which is kind of unusual. The rear door latch, this is not the automatic one, thank God, because those go out, but the shocks are working in there. You know, it's not bad. It's got some stains still, but overall in workable condition for what I'm going to be doing. Now, the main reason I wanted this specific car, the Cayenne S, is for what's under the hood, and that is the 4.5 liter 340 horsepower V8. So all the, you know, plastic stuff that hides everything is missing, which I don't really care about. The guy before has replaced some of the vacuum hoses because there was a vacuum leak, which is common on these cars. So that seems to be resolved, but there are some check engine lights we'll go over when I'm actually driving the car. But overall, the engine, for being 150,000 miles, is very strong and has got plenty of power, get up and go. Now, here's the real reason that you get one of these Cayennes, and it is that V8. So let's see. I don't know if you can hear it over the video, but man, it just sounds awesome. I'll get somebody to rev it. Yeah, so here's the key.
Are you filming right now?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so to turn it on, you get in the driver's seat. The key's on the left side.
Stop.
Yep. And you have to press the brake while you turn the key to the right.
Like that?
Yep. Yeah, that's the brake. Yep.
To the right?
Yeah, put the key all the way in. But so hang on. I'm gonna get behind it because I want to hear it when you do it.
Okay.
So go for it. All right, just barely tap the gas a little bit. looking at the dash, here we go. Normal stuff. So this LCD is going to have to be replaced. In the cold, it's totally fine. When it warms up, it totally goes away, and I can't see anything that's on there. I have just the normal check engine light. It used to say EVAP system. I think I've got that pretty much traced down to what the issue is, but that is a P2177 code, which is lean off idle bank 1, which is the left or the right side of the motor if you're looking straight out. It's either going to be the mass airflow sensor, could be spark plugs, could be O2 sensor, so I'm going to have to chase that down. It's only on one side, so we'll see about that. Now, as far as other issues that I've got, we have, let's see if the screen stays on. Warnings. Oh, I've only got one warning right now, brake pads. So he replaced the brake rotors and pads, but cut the sensors off, so I got to replace those sensors. Now, once I put the lights on, check side front lights comes on, so there's another warning. And then sometimes the check high beam. Let's see. Now the check high beam isn't on right now, but the check high beam seems to come on. So, you know, one check engine light, 3 other warnings. It seems to be, you know, not bad for the age of Porsche that it is. But yeah, it's just getting started. Oh, here's a couple other things. So somebody has been inside of here messing around. The center console's all jacked up. When I put it into the manual shift mode and I bring it down, it stays, you can't really see, but it's still in drive too. One of the weird things about these Porsches is the Cayenne likes to start in second gear, which is annoying, but if I put into Tiptronic and use the little Tiptronic, it'll go into first gear and it'll start on first gear, but then it goes right back into drive. So something weird's going on here with the shift linkage and the computer there. Could have had some water damage from what came in here through the sunroof. Oh, and the sunroof, I mean, it actually works, which is crazy. Also, the low range and locker, which are kind of the big reason that I bought a Cayenne, are working and seem to be functioning just fine. Who knows if that's a long-term deal, but good deal on that. All right, this is the reason you get an S. Forgot to say, right around 60, get a nice little shimmy in the steering wheel, but I think that's just the tires not being balanced. Oh, you can hear that. Right around 60, 65, the speedo's off. But man, this car gets up and goes for 152,000 miles. Yeah, it's probably lost some of its horsepower. But the steering rack's still pretty tight right now. It's vibrating bad because of the tires, but I mean, come on, man. 340 horsepower V8 Porsche that sounds like this, nothing like it. So that's the good, the bad, and the ugly of the Porsche Cayenne that I traded guns for. Gonna do some how-tos coming up, and then just make this an overlanding beast. Thanks for watching.